Burnout isn't something that just happens on a random Tuesday afternoon in October. And it isn't something that we can plan into our diaries. However, it is something that we can predict, because the signs of it, the things that actually cause burnout, have been showing up months before. Not weeks, not days, months. Like I said, it isn't something that just happens to us. So these signs, right, these things that are happening, like we are looking at, the neglecting exercise, actually, not prioritizing what we are doing for ourselves. The boundaries are getting reduced. There are no more boundaries. We're not clocking out our work when we should do, and it is seeping into our own personal time. We are having less quality sleep. Like, our sleep is becoming reduced. The quality of our sleep is becoming reduced, which is then making us wake up tired. When we then wake up tired, we're then going to become, more reactive. We're not going to be thinking about things. Then that's going to have an impact on our own health. Our blood pressure is going to go up. Our weight is potentially going to go up. And our stress levels are then going to go up. Our communicational skills are going to become more snappy. You see, these things, they're not, we think that it just happens, but it doesn't. It's showing up time and time again. Our decision making is becoming slower. We are taking longer to make decisions, and also longer and leaving things until the last minute to take action. And this is the problem with burnout. It is just the accumulation of it. But then what is then the cost of it? By us neglecting everything that's going on over here, what is then the cost to the actual work? That's our health. We know it's going to end up on medication. We're going to be on high blood pressure medication, high cholesterol, might even be type 2 diabetes, and then we're going to get burnt out. And then the cost of our own health is then going to be impacted there. But the cost of actually on our own work, okay, what is it? We're going to be making slower decisions, which is then going to have an impact on the actual commercial side of the business. People are then going to be around us. They're not really going to want to be coming into contact with us. Or when they do, they're not going to be their true selves, because they're not going to know which version of you they are going to get. Are they going to get the one that's open and ready to have a conversation? Or are they going to get the reactive version of you, who then flies off the wall at them? Also, people are going to let you then end up make the decisions, because they're just going to leave it. And in the end, you're like, let me just do it. Also, are you jumping in to make these decisions? Are you jumping in to actually get the work done? When in fact, you should be helping someone else do it. Give them the power. Give them the power to then, learn something and also take control, which is then going to benefit the company and the team further down the line. See, all of these things, we talk about it, but they're all connected. Your personal life is affecting your work. It is also affecting your team. It is also affecting their output. And what is the cost? So like, if you was to actually get burnt out, right? Not just feeling tired, but, proper burnt out, where you cannot go to work. What would the cost be? What would be the cost to you? What would actually have to happen? You'd have time off work. There'd be doctor's visits. It's not just something that you can fix with a 2-week holiday, right? It's not something you can fix with just a 2-week holiday. It actually has to, something actually has to happen. But then also, what is the cost at work? Well, by the time that you're off, they're going to have to get someone in to take over where you've finished. Then it's going to have the impact on the team around you. They're then going to have to dig in harder. Their stress levels are then going to be increased with the extra workload. You see, all of this then happens. Then there's going to be a period of time where you're then integrated back into the workplace. So you're not going to go straight back in and get back on, carry on how you finished, because we know how that ended up. There has to be a proper plan of action to get you integrated back into the workplace. There has to be a duty of care. So now we're looking, more work then for the HR team, because they then have to make sure that you're integrated back in correctly and safely, because the same cannot happen again. But this all could have been prevented. If you'd have got the systems in place beforehand for yourself, actually prioritise yourself. We don't just talk about it, if you actually take care of your health, you're going to become more productive, because you're going to get more energy, you're going to have better quality sleep, you're going to be fueling your body better. You're not going to be surviving just living on caffeine. If you actually look after yourself, you're going to become more productive. You're going to make quicker decisions. You're going to be more certain with that. You're also going to be able to communicate better. People are then going to want to come to you more. It's then going to improve their output, their own confidence. Who knows, it might even have an impact on their own health, right? Think about that as well. Because if you're currently stressed, reactive and all of that, then they're going to be stressed and reactive. So it's going to have an impact on them. And then what's the benefits of work? By you then having a better health, by you having better boundaries, then the company, the business is then going to have a better productivity and commercial side as well. So look, I'm not going to leave you with, look, these are the 5 top tips. It's not that. You don't need that. That's not going to help. But what is going to help is for you just to take a moment. Over the last 6 months, where am I starting to lean more? What is starting to show up? Am I as energized as I used to be? Am I drinking way too much more caffeine? Or am I drinking more alcohol in the evenings just to take the edge off? And what would I say? If I had to be honest with myself, how am I actually feeling?